Hello and welcome everyone to the Trackalicious Sunday Pro Series here on Twitch. I'm brought to you by Trackalicious. I'm Mike Nause, and I also have next to me here in the booth, Mr. Youremahboiblu.
So, make sure I looked the right way. But yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't at first, so don't worry, it's fine. We are here next to each other in the booth at Suzuka.
Yes, yeah, and beautiful Japan. Couple hours outside of any major city. So yeah, it's Suzuka is a blast. Suzuka's a ton of fun. Twisty, windy. It's got everything that you'd want in a nice racetrack, and we get to do some qualifying runs for this session, and just hyper competitive. As far as this goes, and a great track to do it on. Guys are doing, it's about a 2 minute lap is roughly the average for these guys. So it is, like I said, it's a big track, but it provides so much fun to commentate, to race on. I'm stoked.
Yeah, it's a 3.6 mile track. I'm right. Oh my goodness, I did it without looking this time. And is extremely, as he said, twisty, windy, lots of elevation changes. It's extremely historic. Lots of championships have been decided here at Suzuka. The F1 World Championship last year was, in fact, decided here. So it is a track with lots of history, and we're going to make some history today here at, once again, it's a beautiful track at Suzuka. And Siege, thank you for the Tier 1 subscription already.
Let's go. We love that.
Thank you. Yeah, already kicking off the stream.
Suzuka is raced in multiple disciplines. Super GT, GT3, of course, Formula One. Formula One is probably where it is the fastest and most gnarly, but man, Super GT is a big time blast around this. But of course, we're in GT3 cars, right?
Yep.
And these guys are ripping around in the Degnas there, and it's such a, I don't know, I'm fangirling a little bit. I wore my Godzilla shirt today. I'm hoping to see some GTRs out there, but I don't think we will. I think the closest we'll get is a couple Lexuses to represent Japan. So
some Hondas.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah, we do have some. We got a lot of Hondas.
Yeah, come on, this is Honda's home track.
Yeah, fastest in the quali runs. Canadian West Hepburn, rapid man. Burnsy, setting a 158, which we're not seeing. I don't believe he is currently in the server right now as far as the race goes, but the man knows how to throw down some time.
Yeah, 158.7, which is extremely rapid. I mean, the beyond rapid. That's insane. He's driving the Honda NSX. The next position is going to be Kyle Hamster Square. He is going to be in the BMW M4, running a 58.9. So just about on the pace, but not quite.
Yeah, the Cheese Man, Provolone, Jason Provolone, is also running this series. He mentioned that there's some Aston fever, which is interesting because the Aston is such a nice controlled vehicle. It's a pretty solid machine. I would find it a little boring around Suzuka, but I bet you anything it's just that consistency that these guys want going into this championship. This is, of course, like I said, highly competitive, so having a nice consistent machine through all of the races would be pretty nice.
Yeah, definitely. And interesting enough, Jakob Padberg, he is going to be picking up the Aston Martin. I don't think he's a natural Aston Martin driver this season, so it'll be interesting to see what he can extract out of that car. He did end up in 4th position, though, in the timing charts. Excuse me, 5th position. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 5th position. Right behind Nate Lamland, the 159.1. So still absolutely insane. We got Washed Up Squid in chat. Welcome.
Love me a good squid in chat. But yeah, Patty the Batty, young man out of St. Louis, doing a great job. Won the Trackalicious GT3 series last season But I wouldn't say that it was. I don't want to discount the quality of racing or the amount of competition that was last season, but he's got some big shoes to fill. Currently in that practice session that we were just watching, he did a 58.8. So in the Aston, he is normally a BMW guy. We've seen him in the BMW in the 2-hour series and in other endurance series before. So I say young man because he is a young man, 16, I believe.
Yep, I think so. 15 or 16. I don't know if he had his birthday, but yeah, he is absolutely a child.
For us, yes, he is a child. But yeah, this is just going to be a ton of fun as the guys start releasing from the pits.
Not quite yet. Queuing up in the pits.
They'll be lining up.
First minute dedicated to setup changes, and I think as soon as the 20-minute marker falls, we will see the 949 car of Joseph Kostovich be the first one out onto track here at Suzuka.
And of course, Kosti just finishing up the 2-hour two-man swap. He did it solo for a large majority of it, representing 949 Racing. And he did a fantastic job in that endurance series. And he also killed it in the big endurance series that we did. That was actually what I was trying to mention, is that he did those 6-hour races by himself. I thought he did the 2 hours. I was mistaken. But he did the big endurance series that we did with Box 3 and 949. And he did those solo, and he won at Kailami due to a technical failure for the guys that were running in first. So I'm expecting some big things. I got Kosti as a bit of a dark horse right now, but I don't think it's that big of a dark horse. There's just a lot of competition amongst these guys.
Yeah, and Joseph Kostovich will be one of the drivers, I think. Wait, hold on. He's going to be one of the drivers on the pro team, right? Now that I'm saying it, I feel like I'm second-guessing myself for track delicious.
I would assume, but
I think it's Ollie Raza, actually, now that I think about it.
Well, man, if anyone wants to pick up a really fast guy, he does everything in VR, which is, I would get a little car sick, so more power to him. He is rapid. Big Ferrari guy, riding in the 488 Evo, which to me is an incredibly competitive car right now as far as the BOP goes. It's got a little bit of suspension issues here and there. It can't handle the curbs as some other vehicles might, but I mean, it rotates nicely. It's good on the power, and it can be one of those consistent machines like the Aston. So he's the solo. Him and TJ Washed are actually, I thought he was the solo Ferrari. We also have Mr. Mike Burkhoff. So we got 3 Ferraris. I'm looking like a real dunce right now, thinking there was only one.
Also, I think I am sharing my screen now. Am I sharing the right screen? Yes, I am. Can you share your screen?
Yep. My apologies.
No worries, no worries. And lower quality.
Sorry, is my 1080 elitism too much for you, Mike?
Yes.
I actually don't know what it was, but there we go.
Yes, much better, much better.
Technical stuff always fun when you're live streaming. That's why we do it live, right?
I know.
Classic Bill O'Reilly quote. Beep, we'll do it live. Also, shout out to Jace Wright in the chat. Y Mazzino. You are a rapid driver for being on controller, man. It blows my mind. Big shout outs to chat. Shout out to Steve Tomazik, Rose Gaming in chat, as we ride on board with the Alpha Dog. DAWG, got that dog in him. Nate Lamlin, riding the BMW, very fast guy. He's got some competition with Wes, but I have a odd reason to believe that Nate Lamlin's going to be a podium sitter for a lot of this.
Stephen Tomzik already coming in with a subscription, dropping a Prime sub. Thank you very much. For 3 months, he's dropped a Prime sub.
And
really
you know what? That money
Steven.
Doesn't go back into Jeff Bezos' pocket, which makes us happy. It goes to us And of course, we always appreciate a sub or prime sub, because you only get one prime sub, and if you get to use it on us, well, it means a lot because you only get the one.
Yes, indeed. And could you hit drive and go to blank mode, please?
Man, you're bossy.
One job, Blue. Come on.
I know. I'm out of practice.
Yeah, you can stay on board. That's fine. But just blank mode.
Should be blank.
Sweet.
It has been a couple weeks. We just finished up the 12 hours of Bathurst the other day. So I think it was last week, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yep.
1 week ago, won by the Bricks Racing Ferrari. Skylar Lovering, Christopher. Oh my. I'll get it up on SimGrid.
Yep. No worries there.
I was testing my memory. I should know because I was talking about it yesterday, but
we should probably get you some memory supplements. That would probably help you.
Oh, one thing I want to mention for our upcoming leagues. I know this is the most hype league we have, GT3 Pro Series. But we have our rookie league coming up starting on Mondays. That thing is 50 out of 50 people. So
I'm signed up to do it. I love that rookie series. It's a ton of fun. Good time to get out on a Monday night and relieve some stress from the work day and start my week off with some really fun driving and a great learning experience too, because we get to go over the mistakes that we made during the races and things like that. And maybe if you don't think you're fast enough to compete with these 159 threes that we're getting in qualifying right now,
yeah.
Hopping into that GT4 series, it's a ton of fun, and the guys know how to have fun with it too. So
yeah, it's absolute blast. Commentated by none other than Mike Nause, me.
We love a good Nause stream.
Yep. And Nate Lamlin
setting that pace there.
159.0 after coming across the line. And I would imagine he's going to find a bit more pace as time goes on as well.
Yeah, he's only got 3 laps under his belt. So those, you got to think tires are probably warmed up to where he wants them, but he may be getting a little bit extra pressure in there. And I could have sworn I had his livery, but I do not, which is unfortunate because it's a pretty cool puppy dog on there.
The NML Racing livery.
Yeah, easy for us to say.
Kyle Hampshire coming in there in second. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, Nate Lamlin racing out of California has had some interesting connection issues, but just glad he got it all fixed because he raises the anytime someone sees Nate Lamlin's name on a roster for a series, I think they just get a little bit more excited because now they know they've got some competition, and I think he's going to set the benchmark, but I would love to see, like I said, I would love to see Wes Hepburn in here. Wasn't able to make it out to Japan with us, but it's going to be such a shootout. I'm so stoked. We had faces from all over the place. Kyle Hampshire out in the UK, Marc-Antoine Landry from Canada.
Nate Lamlin pushing a little bit too hard there. Ends up running wide in the 130R and invalidates his lap, returns to pits.
Advantage that we get in sim racing, right, is the luckily you didn't have to just spend a good couple $100,000 fixing that BMW. You just got to return to garage.
And we're seeing the odd number cars out on track first currently. Then we will see the even number cars as the 10-minute mark hits. The 10-minute mark will be the virtual checkered flag for the odd number drivers. That made sense, right? Yeah.
I love that. In all honesty, I love that qualifying format. It provides a great area for these guys to set their times. You have less traffic that you got to deal with. You only have X amount of cars on track. Personally, I've been experimenting with it in one of the leagues that I run in Box 3. So it works really well, and I think these guys probably enjoy having that extra space.
Kyle Hampshire, top in the time charts, breaking the 159 barrier into the 158.9s.
And I was talking with him, I was actually talking to him before the race today, and he was a little cranky that he wasn't going to be one of the fastest guys out here. So I think he's racing with a little chip on his shoulder, wanting to prove that he can stick it to some of the big guys. And he's showing it right now with that 158.9.
Yeah, interesting the lack of BMWs on the grid, considering both of them. We got 2 at the top here, and then the other one down in 6th, Eric Gakosian in 14th. So, I was expecting maybe see some more, although, wait, there's still a bunch of even number cars that are also BMWs that we might see top the time chart. Spool, we'll see up there, I would imagine.
Yeah, and the downside for Spool is that he had to take a little bit of a hiatus from racing for a little bit, so he's kind of getting back into it, and this is quite a bath of fire for him to get back into it, seeing how fast this is and how highly competitive. He dipped his toe in with the Bathurst 12-hour, which went about as well as you'd think for someone coming back to racing, but you know, he got back on the horse that bucked him off and kept chucking along. So I'm excited to see what he can do. I know he's fast. I've raced against him, and he's lapped me many a time. So I would love to see that Adventure Time car, that Adventure Time BMW, get up there.
Eric Chen there, I was just following along with in the big old Bentley, the K-Pax Racing. They were pushing it into the first Dagna a little bit too hot. Ends up flying off into the gravel and invalidating. That was their last attempt at improving. But a Bentley in 6th position. Well, not anywhere, 5th position. Wait, what?
And I love the top 5. I'll take it. Yeah, currently still top 5. Car number 69. Nice. But, you know, I'm a big Bentley fanboy. Bentley, Lexus. I love my silly front-engine cars. So I'm excited to see that Bentley running in the currently in top 5 still. Hopefully he's able to stay there.
Hawkeye Mike giving some love to Jet Engelman. 747. Currently, though, Gage Gonzalez, he's going to be starting his lap. Wait, no, he's not. He's going to be finishing his lap. My bad. And he's going to be up in 10th position. Okay, we're good.
Which is an interesting spot for Gage. Setting a 2 flat 2.3, about 2 flat 0.4. And Gage is rapid. Gage races with Pan Am Racing, with a couple of these other guys too, and he'll start from the back of a grid of 20, and he'll be up winning the race by about 4 seconds in no time. He has some insane pace. And he's also looking to get into some esports stuff, things like that. And very, very funny guy in the paddock. Lots of memery among Gage.
Yeah, and looking at it here, Jakob Padberg, he's starting his lap. The 888 Aston Martin, new to the Aston Martin, as I was saying before, but obviously I'm sure he's put in the practice. See what he can end up putting in here around the lovely track of Suzuka. Track conditions looking really nice. 28 degrees track temp, 24 ambient, so quite a warm track, but pretty decent. All about nailing that pressures. And there are a couple Lexi, Corey.
There are some Lexi. Yep, Elmer in the 22 Lexus, and then we also had
Versosa.
a Mr. Oh yeah, Versosa in the Lexus. We had Quinn in the Lexus in the quali series, or the quali laps, I should say, and hoping that he's able to make it. Of course, only the top 50 drivers qualify for this series, which is another reason that makes it just so competitive. You only have so many spots to make it, and it makes it fun for us to commentate as well. So
yeah, this race adding slightly into the favor of the drivers in terms of their qualifying position in the overall session, would you want to call it?
Yeah, the overall series. This kind of is proving their their racecraft versus their just pure raw pace. Previously throughout the week, these guys have been turning laps at Suzuka over and over and over again. So when we mention the qualifying times, those are just simply hot laps that these guys have put down. This is going to really determine how they race and how they're going to race going forward. So kind of a dual set of qualifying rules, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and interestingly enough here, we have 6 hundredths separating our top three, and Kyle Hampshire leading the way for that charge. Jacob Hadberg, excuse me, coming in there 4 tenths off the pace. Not quite the lap he was looking for. Tires probably not up to temperature just yet. So this lap he's going to be looking to make that improvement and gain on that. But 3 cars separated by 6 hundredths.
Yeah, just going and proving our point of this being incredibly competitive, and of course Jakob, young guy and wanting to prove himself against some big names and some big boys. Last season champion, he's got some stuff to prove here, but like I said earlier, he's got some shoes to fill, and we'll see how he does. I mean, he's lapping faster than me. I don't know what my fastest time here is, like a 2:02. So
yeah, I'm not sure you'd make it, buddy.
I don't. There's a reason I'm in the booth. Someone last night, we were joking around that they said, "Yeah, Blue, why don't you stick to the booth?" I said, "You know what? It's a pretty good idea. I'll see you tomorrow."
Yep.
So, yep.
Oh, just about keeping it flat through 130R there, Jakob Hadberg. He is up on his previous lap. In fact, he's up on the pole position lap. Can he keep it nice and tidy through the final chicane? It looks like he can. He's going to be coming across the line, climbing. Will it be enough for the pole position? I think it will be. Let's get the...
Oh, there it is. Wow, 158.912, and he did it in less laps than Kyle Hamper Square. So nice work there by Patty the Batty. And he went out there with that lap and said, "This is my championship, and I'm gonna hold on to my title." He doesn't want to hold on. He doesn't want to let go of the trophy. That's for sure. Wow.
And he does have more laps to keep going, improving on that time. See if anyone can challenge that right now. Let's see, on track, who do we have? Lots of invalidations, it looks like.
And that's not surprising to me. With Suzuka, you have those spots where you are able to just kind of rip the car and go wide.
The Degnas in particular, I think,
the
is...
Degnas, this hairpin that we're watching Blanchett go through, not a tough corner. Not necessarily somewhere where you invalidate, but 130R, I can see a lot of guys. That big sweeping, for those that don't know, 130R being a very famous corner. That sweeping, I believe it's a right-hander, but it's really fast and it's really easy to, it's a left-hander. Classic dyslexia moment there, but it is really easy to invalidate going through there if you're going a little too fast. So,
Corey, it's not just Kyle. We try. It's just that you're new, so it's new to us as well. We're working on it.
Who's that?
Corey is complaining that we don't mess up his surname.
No, he deserves normal. He deserves normal name. He's Corey Hampshire. Kyle is Hollywood Squares. But of course, being our Pro Series, we will probably stick to Kyle Hampshire.
Yeah.
Hampshire. Kyle Hampshire, as this is our Pro. This is our very competitive, our Pro Series. Trying to emit that energy and. Mike, you're on board with Kevin Blanchett, who currently driving the Aston, but absolute madman in a Jaguar.
Yeah.
Ended up coming in 3rd position in our 12 hours of Bathurst that we did to finalize our Enduro series. And he did it in a Jag, which is absolutely insane. Hopefully he takes that competitive edge and throws it down here at Suzuka, currently sitting 6th, so hats off to you.
Yeah, he's gaining on his lap, too. He will be the next driver to come across the line. Well, yeah, he will be the next driver to come across the line for a valid time. So we'll see Kevin Blanchette. He has about 7 tenths to gain for that pole position. That's definitely going to be quite a bit of work, but I think he has a bit more pace in him than what he's shown, 7 tenths off of it.
Yeah, and Kevin Blanchette, I'll give him a quick little ad here. He does coaching. He's got his own Discord server out there, and he is a fantastic coach, knows a ton about the machinery and setups and things like that. So if you'd like to, if you're in the Tracklicious server, reach out to him. He'll hook you up with his Discord server. Likes hunting moose. Him and his dad go up there. He's in the eastern part of Canada. He's French Canadian. And he likes hunting meese down. Meese is the plural of moose, right? You knew that.
Of course. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Kevin Blanchette, though, towards the end of qualifying, checkered flag has fallen coming across the line, and I think he may be invalidated at some point through there. No improvement made, unfortunately.
Yeah, admirable time, 1:59.6. Cranked out about 5 laps. I would say being in the top 10 for Kevin. He moved Eric, I believe that's Eric Chen, correct? The Bentley, car number 69, bopped him down into 7th. So nice tight little field that we have here amongst these guys.
Yeah, next to come across the line is Bruno Pio. I think no improvement made for them. 1:59.8, respectively, for the AMG. Very few AMGs on the grid. In fact, this looks like one of the only ones. Ed Kerstetter with a good improvement. He's currently about a second and a bit off in 16th position. Comes across the line up into 7th position. Final one to come across the line. End our qualifying session here.
Yeah, and that we talked about it so much during our endurance series as these guys get ready to we do a track walk, but the Porsche is just so nice and nimble, man. I'm surprised it isn't flooding the grid right now, but why don't we put on some tunes for Mr. Mike Nause and do that track walk?
Yes, indeed, we can do that. I was just turning off my heater because it's really hot in here.
Is it hot in here, or is it just you?
It is extremely me, but that's all right. So let's get the tunes rolling here. We do have 2 minutes left. Yeah, definitely.
43 drivers.
This is gonna be a lengthy one.
Yep.
Get a good camera angle. Is there a good camera angle? Kinda. But starting in that ever formidable pole position, there will be 2 races tonight, so we will have one more qualifying after this. We have Jakob Padberg leading the way in the number 888 Honda. No, not Honda. He's not driving. He's driving Aston Martin now. Shows what I know. Kyle Hampshire in the BMW number 97, lining up in P2. Nate Lamlin in P3. Marc-Antoine Landry in P4. Joseph Kostovich in P5. Kevin Blanchette in P6. Ed Kerstetter in P7. Eric Chen in P8. What's that? Okay, we're good. Eric Chen in P8, number 69, Bentley, so really good qualifying from him. Brandon Meyer in P9, Bruno Pio in P10, Trevor Jackson in P11, Mike Burkov in P12, Ollie Raza bringing up that P11 slot, P13 slot, excuse me. Christopher Tones in P14, Dominic Duran in P15, Casey Schutte bringing up that P16 position, Niall Schlieder in P17, Matt Arteem in P18, Gage Gonzalez in P19, William Collin in P20, Carlos Guzman in P21, Rocky Rocco in P22, Jeremy Engelman bringing up that P23 slot, 747, Flying Private, awesome livery there, TJ Washed in P24, and the number 99, Washed Up Squid, Jose Guzman in P25, Aaron Kuhn in P26, Jason Provolone bringing up that P27 slot, Ricardo Sapien lining up in P28, Ross Fallon in P29, George Elmer in P30, Eric Gakassian in P31, Andreas Mostachero lining up P32, Terry Agoris in P33, DeMarcus Rogers lining up in P34, Dalton Oxborough in P35, Jace Wright in P36, Bronson Turner P37, Amir Spool P38 respectively, Professor Cronotis P39, Jelson Cruz in P40, Daniel Versosa bringing up that P41 slot, Antonio Vieira in P42, and Retro Coffin, the number 937 Porsche, bringing up the back of the grid here in P43.
Hats off to you, Mike. That's a lot of drivers. I love a 43 car grid. This is really cool. And saw some names that I noticed, and some new people to me anyway. So I'm stoked to get these guys going as they unleash all of these machines on a formation lap. And like you said, we've got this race, and then we will have another one as well.
Can you hit drive?
Yep, yeah, I'm getting to it. I'm realizing what I'm doing here. There you go.
Ricardo Rivera, he will be lining up in the... No, that's Ricardo Sapien. Hold on. There's Ricardo Rivera.
Rivera is not...
in this race, yeah.
Nope, he did do his quali times, though. And as far as quali times are concerned...
Nacho Donkey. Welcome.
Great name.
Welcome. Malcobius, thank you for the follow. Sorry, go ahead.
Kevin Rivera, P34 as far as the hot lap times go. So, competitive. Of course, top 50 make it amongst these two little series that we have going on. So.
Oh, and we actually have him in chat, Ricardo Rivera.
Look at that. Ricardo Rivera or Kevin Rivera?
Ricardo Rivera.
Oh, Ricardo Rivera is a SFR GT driver. I know Ricardo Rivera. I don't believe he's doing this series. Are you, Ricardo?
What?
Nacho Donkey. Right in.
I don't think we were on the... Okay, yeah. Back to that. No, Nacho Donkey, yeah. Thank you for joining that rookie series. Looking forward to seeing you on that grid, getting in there in that 50, or within the 50 slots. Still are slots if you want to sign up for a reserve driver in any of the leagues. They might not be full, so we can't guarantee you a spot if you are a reserve driver. But nonetheless, worth trying.
Always worth a shot. We can always use reserve drivers, so...
Wait. Oh, I'm dumb. Never mind. I'm just, yeah. I got ahead of myself. We're fine. There's no Ricardo Rivera in chat.
He's out. He's out right now.
Or is it? Wait.
Yeah,
Fieto,
yeah.
Fieto has confused me. Or is it Fieto? How do you say that?
Fefito? Fefito PR? PR probably standing for Puerto Rico.
You have confused me.
This is a huge field. Wow, you guys are going to be starting the final turn. That's it's kind of the point. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's all up to Patty the Batty here.
Yeah, as the... we got a little bit more to go. That's right. Suzuka. I always forget how long it is till Suzuka gets underway. All the drivers go 2x2 Noah's Ark formation so early.
I love that classic Mike Nause line. It means we're going racing.
It does, in fact, mean nothing else than we are going racing. You are completely right. Race to rain. We'll see, Marty. We'll see.
Marty Missile.
This race, though, looking dry as a desert. Looking out the commentary window box. Don't see a cloud in the sky. Here in the lovely place of Suzuka. Drivers roaring their engines down to start finishing.
I think was the term the other day.
Don't worry about that. Jakob Habberg leading the way in front of Kyle Hampshire, lining up next to him, Nate Lamlin. We'll see who can get the greatest start. And going underway, it's a big cluster for the top four. All of them are going to be scrapping and duking it out. It's a knife fight in a phone booth. Who's going to take it? We see a car running a little bit wide, but we have Mark Landry making a little bit of contact there with Jakob Padberg, but Jakob Padberg holding out strong, managing to hold that position. Kyle Hampshire taking the lead away and running away with it for right now. Half a second pulled already. Nate Lamlin behind, battling for a position. Joseph Kostovich as well, tucking in all these drivers, getting in 2x2 or getting in 1x1 formation. We see some scrapping down here with Dominic Duran, Ollie Raza, or is that is Ollie Raza, I think. No, it's not.
And Jeremy Engelman got spun out in the latter part of the S's there. That's a bummer and a big hit for the 747 Aston.
Ooh.
And that was, for a majority of that was incredible driving for all these guys going through those S's. Those S's are hard to navigate when you're doing a hot lap by yourself, let alone with 3 people right behind you as they go through the Dunlop hairpin here. Just insane how tight and compact this is on lap 1. These guys are not giving anybody an inch. I'm giddy. I'm giddy right now. I'm so pumped.
Every single gap I'm seeing right now is 4 tenths, 4 tenths, 4 tenths. They're everyone within bumper distance of each other. No one's going to be making a mistake. If they do, they're going to get swamped here.
And I've got Kyle Hampshire taking over the lead from Jakob Padberg and Marc-Antoine Landry and Nate Lamlin. Not letting them relax at all, but Patty the Batty.
I think we're going to see a move from Padberg potentially, maybe even into the chicane. No. Padberg
playing it safe.
Looking
30 minutes.
Quite fast, though, and probably going to want that position back from Kyle Hampshire.
We got some moves down the field. That chicane right after 130R just tightens everybody up. And
Kerstetter, what's going on here? Oh, in the pits. Why do we have cars in the... We have mandatory pit stops. Drivers making their pit stop on the first lap. Interesting. I was not expecting that.
A little bit of a wild undercut strategy here. So that'll be interesting. Maybe some damage from some argy-bargy stuff going on in the S's. Maybe just trying to get out of the way now.
I wonder if drivers started with low fuel so they could maybe get a really good start and go for an undercut.
Yeah, or they maybe put in quali fuel and forgot to fill up for the race. That is definitely a possibility. Yeah. One of the disadvantages of sim racing, but
not that many drivers.
Yeah, Padberg getting overtaken again by Marc-Antoine Landry. So the Audi has now overtaken Padberg, and the 888 Aston has lost 2 positions so far. So that is a little bit of a bummer. But got to stay tough there, Patty, and keep moving on.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't get too hot-headed. Whoa, Bruno Pio, what's going on here?
I was about to say, there's some big gains up there.
Go back and take a look. That was a interesting read. Okay, we're good. Taking a look at what happened. Bruno coming into the hairpin. Just gets a little assisted spin around and gets out of the way really quick.
747 of Jed Engelman in that Aston. And yeah, a little assisted. Definitely, I don't want to say a little assisted. That was for sure assisted.
Yeah.
But I was taking a look at the big gainers right now. And Jelson Cruz, the 777 Porsche, he's made a nice big gain, up 11 spots as it stands right now, according to the data that I have from the truck.
Man, awesome effort.
Yeah,
there are quite a few drivers, though, that came into the pits. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, that is very true.
Ooh, big contact between Daniel Versosa and Antonio Vieira. And that McLaren, the Jota, is not looking too healthy either. Oh, it's not a Jota. It just has Jota colors. Is
nice
it a Jota?
Catch, though.
Is it?
That might be the Jota McLaren.
Ooh, big assisted spin.
Yeah, a couple of Brazilians just kind of bopping right into each other.
McLaren coming off much, much worse. That is the Jota.
Love those colors. It reminds me of Christmas.
But
and Marc-Antoine Landry currently setting fastest lap right now.
1:59.8 race pace. Jeez.
Yeah, a little quick as Kyle Hampshire just did a 2-minute flat, trying to hold off the Canadian right behind him, and Padberg trying to settle in and find his pace. He's got about 25 minutes to figure it out. Kostovic making his way up into 5th, staying where he actually qualified.
Look at this incredible livery for the Lamborghini here of Ross
changing?
Phelan.
Yeah.
That is I always say with Lamborghinis, if you're going to have a Lamborghini, make it the most obscure color you can. And he has done exactly that. And this is perfect.
Stand by. I'm getting some technical difficulties from the truck, so.
Picture-in-picture will resume. Hopefully. Jakob Padberg, though, keeping the pressure up at the top. Mark Landry doing what he can for the defense, but also trying to make gains out of Kyle Hampshire at the same time. Everyone, though, within about a second of each other here. Gage Gonzalez scrapping it out with Niall Schleter here.
And Gage has got pace everywhere he goes. As I was saying, when he raced with Pan Am, he would start from the back of the grid, and in no time he would be up and running. So in first place.
And who is a crazy rabbit out there right now? Landry? No. Who's a
crazy rabbit would be one of the Guzmans, as well as Kevin Blanchette. Kevin Blanchette running that Crazy Rabbits Jaguar that we were talking about earlier, and then Guzman also in a standard Aston, normally a big V12 guy. So
there he is. He's in the R Motorsport. He's not even in one.
He's not in his own. Yeah, he's in the standard. I was talking with him earlier, and I was saying, so the team didn't want to bring out the big honking V12 for this race, right? And he said, no, I would have smoked everybody in the straights, but trying to get up the S's, I would have been a little SOL, were his exact words. So
it's a shame.
Probably a good move by the Guzmans there.
See some side-by-side action between TJ Washed and the other Crazy Rabbit of Carlos Guzman, but not in a Crazy Rabbit either.
And thank you to the guys in the truck for fixing my technical issues. We should be back up and running now.
Just go ahead and hit drive and blank, and we will be. Yes. Can you do that or no?
The guys are fixing. Hold on.
All good.
Still getting some stuff fixed from the guys down in the ever classic truck that we have.
Yeah, and Steven Tomazic mentioning last night, the Big Brain Racing 24-hour that they put on for charity. The grid had over 15 Ferraris in it, in a 38-car grid. Whoa. The heck was that? Was that Rocky Rocco? I think that was. Having a little trip to the gravel. Jason Provolone in a mid-battle scrap with Aaron Kuhn through the S's. That is not a place you want to be running side by side.
And Aaron Kuhn, Stooch Racing, believe him, and he had a great run at the 2-hour event, the 2-hour endurance event that we put on. And they were in the McLaren that made us very hungry with that Hardee's logo that was there. So,
Chummy, that's a really good question that I do not have an answer to, unfortunately. I would recommend messaging either Professor Cronotis or Eric Akasian in the Trackalicious Discord. That would be one of those two will definitely know the answer to that one. I can pop up the Discord link as well if you are not in there. But
I've got a great battle between Mike Berkoff, the only driver on the grid to be from Nepal, according to his flag, which is quite funny, and Gage Gonzalez. They are currently going side by side, almost side by side through 130R there. Oh, and Berkoff loses it. The suspension of the Ferrari strikes him.
Good save, though, relatively.
And then, nice driving job by Mike Berkoff. Had a little bit of a rough outing earlier today. He was actually in believe it or not, earlier today he was in Indiana doing the Indianapolis road course. Looks like he's going to go change those warm rubber for some new, cooler boots.
Man, he must be experiencing some jet lag. That explains that little bit of a spin, I think.
Yeah, quite a competitor. Stayed in the race. He didn't finish totally dead last, but he was a little disappointed with the result there. Not a big fan of Indy, is what he was telling me. And last week for Box 3, he was racing at Olton Park. So he's done a lot of racing in the last week.
Ooh, Jace Wright there, just eking out that 20th position from Jose Guzman. Great job from him.
And that 24 of Jace Wright. Jace Wright on a controller. I was giving him some kudos earlier at how quick he is with a gamepad. Not a steering wheel guy. I believe he's currently the only controller driver right now, unless someone can correct me. But
Jace Wright, you're saying?
Yeah, Jace Wright.
Wow. Okay.
He's in a controller currently sitting P20. Believe it or not, he's an AM class driver in Box 3. But he's rapid, man.
Those steering wheel inputs hurt my wrist.
Yeah, you can kind of tell when you're on board with him that he's a controller driver. Things aren't as smooth, but he makes it work. Looking into some Moza equipment is what he was telling me, and he's very, very excited about some Moza gear.
And we got Huff in chat. How's it going, gents? It is going great for me. I am still exhausted after that 24 hours of Indy yesterday. I did a lot of commentating there.
Yeah, nice little 16-hour shift for Mike. Nothing out of the ordinary, but Jose Guzman asserting his dominance over Jace Wright there in the Aston, and just taking him, seeing who's got a little bit more cojones going into 130R, and Jace Wright gonna take that pit stop right now. I love that OPX Porsche. It's so cool.
Oh, Simple Zach, thank you for the 100 bits.
Let's go, Simple Zach.
See a lot of drivers coming into the pits now. Got our leaders coming in as well, I think, or at least, no, not our leaders. We have Jakob Padberg going for the undercut, interesting enough. We'll see how that works out for him.
Yeah, Marc-Antoine Landry and Kyle Hampshire, quite a duel up here in P1 and P2. Not a whole lot of relaxation between these guys. Landry playing the Tom to Kyle Hampshire's Jerry as they kind of chase each other down here, and it's the lap times are comically fast between these two. 1:59.4 was the last lap for Kyle Hampshire, and a 1:59.472 was the last lap time for Marc-Antoine Landry as they come up on some lap traffic of Danny Versosa. So it's going to make things a little interesting. I'm liking the pit stop for a 30-minute race, too. It adds to some drama.
It does. It really does. I'm really interested to see where Jakob comes out. He comes out in 26th position behind the Joda with a stop-go 30!
Oh, speeding in the pit lane. That's going to get you every time. The pit lane here at Suzuka, you can come in really fast and screw it up. So, am I surprised? A little bit. Patty knows a little bit better than that. But it does happen. And Marc-Antoine Landry also hitting the pits, gunning for some new boots.
I think that's a really good choice. I think he made the right call there. I think he's going to end up taking that first position away from Kyle Hampshire. Kyle Hampshire getting caught up in traffic, at least with one driver this lap. So not, yeah. I was expecting more than just one driver. So maybe not the worst, but
the Brazilian of Danny Versosa, who had that big incident at 130R with his countrymen. So
Kyle Hampshire,
little rough.
I think
go.
He had about a 4/10 gap coming out of the pits, or rather when we were seeing them go into the pits with Landry, and Kyle Hampshire currently 2/10 down on his previous lap. This lap, he needs to be pushing the wheels off of that car and gaining as much time as he possibly can.
And I've got a Porsche of Retro Coffin 937. He is off in the... Kind of take a look and see what happened there. He went off in the S's.
Ooh, and Jace.
Looks like it was unassisted. It was self-inflicted. But that's a... As Phil Swift would say, that's a lot of damage.
Yep. Steven, thank you for mentioning that. I need to talk to you.
About pit wall?
Yes.
Yep, how did I know? Yeah, we will have a pit wall up for for race 1, because this is technically the qualifying race. So we will have a pit wall link up for race 1. There's not one available for this event, however.
Yeah, if you have time after the stream, actually, I'd like to get that sorted.
Dalton Oxborough. The 820 McLaren gunning down Jelson Cruz. And Jelson knows how to run a good defense. I've been behind Jelson previously in SFR GT, and he knows how to defend a position, that's for sure. And they get a little bumpy there as Rogers makes a nice spin move at 130R. Unfortunately, the best Beyblade impression doesn't go very fast and ends up getting taken over by Professor Kernotis. I thought that was Kernotis. I believe it's Spool, actually.
Spool in Kernotis' livery?
Yeah, they're it's Venture Time. I love it.
Jace Wright, serve that stop, go 30, down into P last for him, unfortunately.
Jace Wright had a stop, go 30?
Yep. Yeah,
or Padberg had a...
Both of them had to stop, go 30.
Oh, that's rough.
Jakob Padberg working his way down. He's down in P38 right now, working his way through cars that have yet to make their pit stop, but he's got 21 seconds to the P37 car, so his race for this one is definitely not over, but he's looking to be making up some ground really, really quickly. He needs to.
We have a lot of mid-pack guys running into the pits right now. Oxborough, Rogers, Spool, Coffin fixing a lot of damage. That pit crew is going to be busy. And I think we're going to get a little bit of some pit lane fun stuff here, if you know what I mean.
Rocky Rocco and a bit of a heated scrap with Eric Yukasi, and Eric getting by. Rocky a little slow on the pace today. That Aston Martin looking a bit all over. Not quite the greatest result that he would be looking for, I'd imagine. I know he's got more pace than that. The Rockefeller Racing car.
And he runs a great league, and I'll give them a little ad space as well. Simforce Racing GT. They race on, I believe they're planning on racing Friday nights, which would be a lot of fun. I was a part of that last season, so stoked for that to come back. Him and Skinner. There's a nickname Jar Jar, but I was watching Gage Gonzalez hunt down Ali Raza, and Gage Gonzalez is pushing this NSX to its absolute limits, trying to hunt down Ali Raza. Lost a little time into the spoon, but look at the speed that NSX has over the Aston going down the straight there.
Ooh.
Lots of, man, Gage Gonzalez.
Oh, my tank slapper!
Oh no, that was way too fast.
The aero wash just proves too much. He caught too much grass on the inside initially, coming through 130R, and that must have unsettled his car. It's right on board with him to just see exactly how that happened. Takes too much grass right there. The car gets unsettled onto the... Wow, and that's the volatile nature of the Honda right there.
And that's the volatile nature of 130R. It can absolutely make or break your race. It's such a fast corner. It's... In real life, it's incredibly fun to watch, but you know that it's deadly. And now, his race is effectively kind of, I wouldn't say toasted completely. He's running in P27, but he's a lot more competitive than that. I know because he's lapped me a lot. So,
Breakthrough, thank you very much for the follow. Much appreciated. Thanks everyone for being here. Watching the GT3 Pro League qualifiers with us here at Trackalicious. He and Ed Kerstetter currently hunt down Joseph Kostovich. I feel like that's something I've said in a couple other series, but I haven't said that in a long time. Two cars, two extremely fast lads here, chasing each other down, and they have had many battles throughout history.
Yeah, Ed Kerstetter making a return here, if I'm not mistaken, to some highly competitive racing, and we know what Coasty can do. We've watched these two guys, as you said, duke it out previously. I'm really stoked to see more battles between these two, that's for sure. And some racing greats too. Porsche versus Ferrari. Not quite the Ford versus Ferrari, but definitely two very highly touted racing teams right there.
Yeah, definitely. And we have
8 minutes left.
Kyle Hampshire coming out of the pits right now. He's going to be coming out of the pits behind Marc-Antoine Landry. In front of Joseph Kostovich, but I thought so. Landry just taking advantage of that undercut and making the best out of it. He will be on slightly older tires, but that's not going to matter with 8 minutes to go. Kyle Hampshire is going to get his tires basically just to the optimal range by the time this race comes to an end.
Yeah, and I think that was a great strategy there by Landry to take advantage of Kyle just being a little bit, maybe a little aggressive, maybe being a little cocky, and bumping himself out of contention. But a top 10 in this field is still nothing to scoff at.
No, the top 10 all running just about in the 159s. We have the top 8 down running in the 159s, basically. That's
incredible. It's really solid pace. It's I want to say it's close, if not true, to esports pace. Essentially, I'm kind of curious as to what esports guys are doing. Probably pretty consistent 158s. Someone in chat can probably tell me that. But look at Ed Kerstetter. I'm still glued to Ed Kerstetter and Coasty here. A couple 949 Tracklicious guys. They're going back to duking it out between Spoon and 130R. And that speed advantage of the Ferrari is what's going to help Kostovich here. And Kerstetter's going to be able to really take advantage of the nimble, the on the toes or on the ball of its feet kind of feel of that Porsche.
Ooh, lots of curb.
Kosty's got to be a little careful of that curb because we saw it with Burkhoff earlier at 130R. The curbs can bite you in that Ferrari because that suspension, he has to have a pretty good engineer working on that suspension for him.
Eric Gagassian has managed to catch up wonders here to the likes of Jose Guzman, actually.
Yeah, a couple big-time Tracklicious boys. Look at the impatience of Gage Gonzalez behind them. The youngster trying to push his way through this pack right here is kind of funny. He's, like I said, just a little impatient. He's going to get right behind Eric here for maybe a little bit of a toe. Double toe.
Oh, this is going to get spicy really quickly.
I have an odd reason to believe, yeah. And Gage is all for it.
I don't actually think Gage is all for it. I think Gage wants to get by these two like yesterday.
I think he does, but he knows how to apply some spice to his racing. He knows what to do. But I think Eric is going to be stingy. Of course, he's the boss man. We can't talk too much trash about him, right? But he signs our giant checks. And I think Eric's going to put on a pretty good defense here. And Gage is going to have to work for it.
And just for reference, chat, we don't get paid giant sums of money. We get paid in giant checks, like the giant comical checks, like the Sears
just
checks.
Giant Publishers Clearinghouse checks, but just the checks. They don't have any monetary value to them. But look at all these guys separated by less than a second. We got Ed Kerstetter and Coasty. Kyle Hampshire is caught right back up to Marc-Antoine Landry. Meyer and Raza are now duking it out. Meyer and Raza in that Aston pairing.
Taking a look at the
Will Cologne.
drivers up ahead here. We have our leader, Jelson Cruz. Wait, why is he our leader?
He was our leader.
Oh, okay.
But it's because he hadn't pit yet.
Nate Lamlin currently leading the race, still yet to pit. Kevin Blanchette following him, then Eric Chen, Marc-Antoine Landry. Actually, Niles. Wait, what the? Oh no, Niles Schlieder is the
P12.
The scoreboard is updated.
Yes, it is. It is screwing up right now. I can see that. The guys in the truck are working on it still. So
just go back to the relative times, the ones that aren't broken.
Yeah, I'm looking up. We always like to take a look at the biggest winners here, biggest gainers. Ed Kerstetter up, according to this, the stat that I have from the guys in the truck, he's up 30 spots. He qualified P37. He's up into P7 right now. So an immense drive. The Mr. Mower team, 691. Chris Tones up 27 spots. Dominic Duran, I believe it's Dominic Duran, correct? Up into P14 after qualifying P38. So a lot of gainers here. Love to see it. Unfortunate for Jason Provolone, down 23 spots. Padberg down 34. So
we don't have the same intel here.
Really?
Really?
That's what I'm coming from.
How did that happen?
I have no idea.
I don't know whose intel is correct now.
Probably go with yours, because I had to. I had the issues with the guys in the truck before,
oh,
so they're probably
yours are definitely wrong. Yes.
They're probably feeding me some bad info.
Okay, that explains a lot. Because I'm looking at mine like, what are you on about?
Okay, then.
So our
pay no attention to what I'm saying.
Our biggest gainers. Probably Andreas Mastachero down in P14 or in P19. What happened though?
I have Dominic Duran, the 21 Porsche, going off at 130R. Oh, unassisted. He did it. It was self-inflicted. No contact. That is just a sucky situation at 130R.
The nature of the Porsche.
Wall. Yeah. George Elmer off in the chicane. Guys are pushing for these last 2 minutes. Oh, a little bump by Rocky Rocco into the chicane on George Elmer. That's a bummer.
We do need to see Nate Lamlin pitting relatively soon, along with Aaron Chen. Eric Chen.
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. The alpha dog, Nate Lamlin, is in the pit, as is the K-Pax Bentley.
Good.
Of Eric Chen. So they have a pretty decent gap, but I don't think it's going to be quite enough. I think we're going to see Marc-Antoine Landry take the lead of the race here.
Yeah, pit lane quite long here at Suzuka. And we'll see. Kyle Hampshire, I don't know if he has the pace over Mark Landry to get the job done.
Yeah, he's really got to push this last minute. And was it the right move to really overcut here? We'll see what Nate Lamlin. See if it was a mistake by NML Racing and K-Pax.
Nate Lamlin is moving, but
I don't think it's going to be quite enough.
Gonna be close though.
I currently have.
It's not as close as I thought.
It is not as close. Marc-Antoine Landry and Kyle Hampshire moving into the first and second spot. Nate Lamlin coming in P3.
Side by side with Joseph Kostovich out of the pits, actually.
Look at that, yeah.
And Ed Kerstetter slips by. Wait, no. Wait, what? Nate Lamlin. Where the heck is Nate Lamlin at? No, he's a. That was
P3. Yeah.
Ed Kerstetter slipping by Joseph Kostovich, I think that was.
And just using that twisty, turny section, sector 1 of Suzuka here to his advantage. Get right past the Ferrari. The Ferrari is a car that can rotate pretty well, being a solid mid-engine, but it's such just in any sort of nimble area with the Porsche. I gotta find an encyclopedia so I can stop saying the word nimble. I gotta find something else.
Sleek.
An encyclopedia is the wrong word. Thesaurus is what I want to find. And look at Meyer on Raza. I'm loving that livery from Meyer on that Aston. I love that gunmetal gray and that orange. I believe he also has an IMSA number on his car, which is pretty sweet. Yeah, Meyer hunting down Raza.
Kerstetter has a drive-through on the final lap.
That is a bummer. It'll probably get added to his time. I don't think he'll have enough time to replace it, but Marc-Antoine Landry, the Canadian's going to come across as the winner for race 1.
Brandon Meyer making a send on Ollie Raza on the last lap through Spoon.
And a great place to do it if your competitor goes a little wide there. You're just able to gun on the inside. And man, Landry and Hampshire finish less than a tenth away from each other.
Man.
Actually, right around a tenth away from each other. Insane.
Nate Lamlin in that third position. Joseph Kostovich coming home in fourth. Kevin Blanchette in fifth. Trevor Jackson sixth. Aaron Chen in seventh. Ed Kerstetter having to serve that drive-through penalty. We'll see where he ends up. So actually, all of these places are subject to change.
Yeah,
Matt Artin for 8th, Brandon Myers for 9, Ollie Raza for 10th. Ed Kerstetter potentially is going to, I think he's going to end up with a 30-second penalty, so we'll see where that puts him. Now Schluter 12th.
A little bit different, different top 10 than we're probably going to see. I think it looks like we'll see Ollie Raza take that 10th position away from Kerstetter. And Kerstetter probably going to drop down a little bit further. We may see some movement from Niall Schluter and Chris Tones. But, I mean, heck of a drive between our top 10. I'm liking the drive for American to whip that Bentley around here. Brandon Meyer as well, sitting in P9. Kudos to Kostovich. And Marc-Antoine Landry coming in with a win for race 1. Not bad. You got a lot of competition in here. So to come in P1, just pure strategy by Marc-Antoine Landry.
Yeah, no, awesome effort indeed. Kyle Hampshire, unfortunately, getting that penalty. Wait, no, hold on. Wait.
No, it's screwing up on you.
Why is it so messed up? Okay.
Yeah, Hollywood Squares ends up in P2. Nate Lamlin in P3. There's your podium for race 1. Now we get to do another 30 minutes with another pit stop. And will there be rain?
We'll see. We'll see.
We will see indeedy.
Looking outside the booth, it's looking fairly clear, but I don't know. I've been known for my weatherman skills in the past, so we'll see.
Yeah, the other day, green skies in
that
just outside.
I don't fully have an explanation for, I'll be honest. I'm not sure where that one necessarily came from. But yes, I did say green skies.
Yeah, green skies. Yeah, based off, I mean, that was just half an hour. So based off that, I think we're in for some pretty sick racing. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. Why don't we go back to the desk?
Let's go back to the desk. I love the desk.
Go ahead and give me a little switcheroo.
So nobody sticks around.
Oh, wait,
Jesus.
we're already at the start of the session. Are we at qualifying?
I think it's practice, maybe. My camera's
we're straight.
Anyway.
It's fine. We're straight into quali 2, so it doesn't matter.
Oh man, my camera's bad, eh?
I don't know. I don't have it on.
Oh, it's I look like my identity is trying to be saved.
It is not showing.
Oh, no worries.
Doesn't
try it again.
No, it does. Oh wow. Really out of focus.
Oh, there we go.
Okay,
there we go.
yeah.
There we go. Fixed itself.
It's good.
Thanks to
Don't
the
worry.
guys in the truck again. Yeah, we're headed right back out for qualifying. And I think that's Kyle Hampshire. Yeah, Kyle Hampshire is sitting in the at the front of the queue, wasting no time. He wants to get out there. He's probably not too terribly happy with P2. I think he wants to be a little bit more competitive in that Trackalicious Beamer, Trackalicious BMW.
Yeah, Provolone with that stop-go 30, unfortunately. And, yes, there is a Bentley on the grid. It did really well last race.
Yeah, P7 for Eric Chen. I'm a big, like I said earlier, I'm a big Bentley fan, so I like seeing that. I like driving on the wrong side of the road. It is a interesting experience as they're on the right-hand side, the passenger side of most U.S. cars. So, you got any predictions? You got any wild cards you want to throw out there, Mike, for race 2?
Wild cards. Good question, honestly. Let's just look through here once more. Unfortunately, just not seeing a couple names that I really wanted to see out there on track. Like Wes Hepburn, I really wanted to see out there. But as well as like Estefano Barrena. Yeah, there's a couple drivers that I really wish we had out there to contest up at the front. We don't right now, but I want to see Jeremy Engelman 747 do a little bit better than last race.
Yeah, I think he probably wants to do a little bit better than last race. Had a big spin in the S's early on, which kind of set the tone for his race and sort of killed any sort of momentum that he had. But yeah, take a look at that. Nice little box 3 shout out right there. That is a beautiful livery. The guy knows how to craft some artwork. That is for sure.
Off-white. Why is that a brand or something? Oh, look at that angle.
You can see little details. I love that he has a kayak sponsor on his jet car.
Sponsored by Codsworth, of course.
Great work there by Jeremy Engelman. I've got, I think we see a Kerstetter. I think we see a Kerstetter podium this race. That's going to be my Blues bold predictions. How about that?
Okay.
A BBP, Blues bold predictions. I see Kerstetter sitting on the podium. I think he's probably a little peeved at the penalty that he took at the end of last race. So he's going to be driving with some fire under him. Guys are lining up. And I find that so cool. You know, you don't see that in a lot of leagues, the sportsmanship of waiting and backing up in a queue for qualifying. I find that just really cool that the Trackalicious does that. And trying to do that with some other leagues that I'm a part of as well. So
yeah, there's always that one guy that wants to blow through.
Yes, yeah, there is.
Luckily, they get a stern talking to and probably a penalty if they do that here.
Stern talking to. Give me some flashbacks to our Monday Night Rookie series, where we don't assess penalties because it is a teaching series, right? So, stern talking tos.
This is not the cleanest lap from Kyle Hampshire at all.
Yeah, still took Spoon better than me, though.
I honestly don't know about that. That wasn't... I mean, we'll see. He had to short shift down into second to get a little bit more rotation. I think he came in just slightly too hot. Having a big lift off in 130R. Interesting. That BMW not able to keep it on the throttle.
I think he's playing a little safe going through there. I think you could go a little quicker through there, Kyle.
Watch this lap be like a 158.
Yeah. It's a 159.3.
He's better than that. He's better than that.
He is better than that, but that was still pretty rapid.
Yeah.
As Kostovich, who I would love to see a podium out of the 949 Ferrari. There's Jeremy Engelman, Mike's bold pick, sitting in P4 with a 2 flat. Marc-Antoine Landry. I'm thinking that Marc-Antoine Landry and Kyle Hampshire are going to develop a little bit of a racing rivalry, as those guys are separated by 0.02 of a second. That is hilariously fast and so cool to see. Nate Lamlin, probably a little peeved at that 159.7. I know I would be, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I would be ecstatic with a 159.7. I would turn the game off
retire. It's like, all right,
Yeah,
we're
sell
getting
all
close.
of my equipment. Yep.
Almost made it to esports. I can tell my grandchildren that.
Exactly. Back in my day, I set 159s at Suzuka. But of course, it is early on in the quali session, so these laps that you're seeing, they're only going to get faster, folks. Kostovich unfortunately invalidated his lap. I think that was probably at one of the Degnas as he goes into the spoon here.
TJ washed with that 949 livery. Which livery was it? Hold on. Was it TJ? Hang on.
The Rust?
No, hang on here. There's... Yes! Yeah, it was... Yeah, I totally forgot about this, but it's a little blurry.
Safety inspected?
I have safety inspected this car.
Senor Mike,
yes.
Yesterday.
Great. Yesterday I safety inspected this car myself. So
it's looking a little rusty there, Mike. Did you take a note of that, or?
I don't write. We all know how I read.
Yeah,
Honky if part swallow.
That's great. And TJ, I found out TJ was in the Air Force, and his legal name is TJ. It's not short for anything. It is just TJ. Formerly in the Air Force, and big audiophile, big time. Loves has a big time guitar collection and likes playing music in his free time.
That's awesome. And thank you for your service if you were watching this back, TJ. Thanks to anyone in the service as well. Massive kudos to you guys for doing things that, we can't.
As we sit here commentating some sim racing, and speaking of which, Kyle Hampshire just set a 158.7, which is about 4/10 off of Wes Hepburn's #1 qualifying time in the Hot Lap series. So he's still got some work to do, but Marc-Antoine Landry now having a little bit of a fever going on, sitting at a 159.2 is his best time. Gage Gonzalez not playing around in this round, sitting at a 159.3. He probably had that oh snap moment. I should probably not qualify from the back. These guys are too good. And now sitting in a podium, of course, a provincial podium position. Coasty with a P4, invalid lap. Nate Lamlin coming out after a electrical issue early on in qualifying.
I think Kyle Hampshire beating his lap by hundredths of seconds right there.
Yeah, 158.757. So just improving, doing nothing but improving.
And also Forzy, welcome. Glad to have you here.
Shout out to Forzy in chat. Great images that they get of their F1 league. A really, really cool, hyper-realistic. I'm not sure if that's in F1 2022 or if it's in AC, but great job. They were posting some stuff in our images channel in box 3. So look at these 159s. How many 159s do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 159s. Jed Engelman looking quote unquote slow right now with a 2 flat.
The first driver not in the 115. Dude, I was about to say that. Giving some massive props to Eric and the fact he's in the 200s.
Yeah, he's a 2 flat 0.5. So yeah, big shout out to the boss man. Eric Gakosian runs an incredible league, runs an incredible Discord, of course, on top of all of our admin team.
Let's say he runs more than one incredible league. He runs multiple incredible leagues. The one that we are watching currently, in fact.
He does it all. Yes, but shout out to him sitting P9. And he, of course, did our endurance series with noted German machine driver Andreas Borchers, and those guys were pretty fast. I wonder, Andy's got to be pretty happy and pretty proud of Eric doing that two flat. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. As he's putting in the work, especially considering how little time he has to put in the work. He's really been getting his head down to carry on for this league.
Another kind of thing to note, he doesn't have, and of course, top of the line equipment does not necessarily make you faster, unless you're Nate Lamlin, of course. But he has told me everything that he's got has pretty much been secondhand. So he at one point in time had some duct taped pedals, I found out. So he's balling on a budget, as he says. His quote, not mine.
Gotta love it. We see the Stinky Cheese Man posting some cheese in chat. He's out on track right now in that fly-in private.
We love the Cheese Man. Big cheese stands in the booth here.
On a team with Jet Engelman, I presume.
And we're seeing the, I believe that was the odd numbers going out. Now we're seeing the evens go out this time.
Yep, indeed. And Eric Chen will be the last of our odd numbers to come. Third to last of our odd numbers, I think. We'll cross the line.
You're gonna do that one again?
No,
another take?
I don't.
Yeah.
I need to drink a water. That's what I need.
I gotta say, Mike, it's been a lot of fun. Of course, we're doing this every Sunday night, starting at about 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And we have, as Mike was saying earlier, we got the Monday Rookie Series going on. That starts at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is a fun, kind of a learning series, learning how to drive with other people on track in GT4 cars. Just kind of a more casual series. This, of course, being our hyper-competitive. As you can see how fast these guys are, sitting to 158 for your pole time. So,
yeah, this currently riding along board here with our previous pole sitter. Ooh, that's a bit of a slide in Sector 1. On the limit is Jakob Padberg here.
And you got to think for Patty, more pressure is now applied. Right, we talked about it earlier. We'll beat a dead horse. He won last year. He won the series last year. Maybe a little bit less competition, a little less speed. I don't want to take away any credit from Patty. It's hard to win a series no matter how competitive or how uncompetitive. But you got to find that consistency. He's in the right car to find that consistency, but you can't make mistakes like he did in race 1 against some of these big fish, because the big fish will just eat you up.
Yep, absolutely. And Steven Tomzik, guys, I'm really thirsty. We need more hydrates. The 3 hydrates wasn't enough. We need more.
Just to cue up the Minecraft Steve drinking sound effect.
I don't know why. I didn't mean to misclick there. I didn't mean to click off Padberg. Yes, spend your channel points. Exactly. Do not save up for the T-Rex suit.
Don't, especially since we don't have it yet. So that will be.
They don't need to know that. That can get arranged pretty quickly. I'm not too worried about that.
that'll be a good time. I can't wait to do a race suit T-Rex costume stream with you, Mike.
I can, but I can't either.
I was thinking of the other series we got going on. We were talking about Eric running a bunch of series. As we're about to watch Patty the Baddie come across the line here, let's see what kind of time this is, and then I'll talk about the other stuff. How fast are you, Padberg? Ooh, P3 159.0 with just a couple laps under his belt. The studious scholar from St. Louis making his presence known, sitting on in a podium position as it stands right now. Top 3. Good for him. But we have, of course, Thursday night, we're going to be doing a little mixed series, right? GT3, GT4. You guys doing that? I believe that's 8:30 Eastern Standard Time as well.
Yes, indeed.
Is that commentated by you, Mr.
Of
Nause?
Of course.
I unfortunately can't make that to drive or to commentate due to personal other stuff. But that is a fun series. There's some Wednesday night silliness that isn't streamed, but if you'd like to join the Discord and join in on that, there's a group of guys that like doing some wacky Wednesday stuff. Nothing going on Fridays. We got the Saturday 2-hour series coming back, the two-man driver swap. I'm very, very proud to announce that Yitcows Racing, my racing team, is taking that on with the new driver, Corey Hampshire, twin brother of Kyle Hampshire.
Current pole sitter, in fact, Kyle Hampshire's brother.
Current pole sitter, and I'm really hoping that skill, runs
in the blood.
Yeah, it's genetic, because I'm gonna need Corey to carry me.
Yeah, esports legend team Yitcow Racing.
Yes, yeah, Brian Canapan in the newly branded Yitcows Huracan, which is not on track today, which is a little bit of a bummer. We ran into some cost issues, so he wasn't able to make it out to Suzuka for this race. But he did the qualifying laps, and I'll say he's pretty fast. I'm pretty proud of my driver.
That's not looking too good for Yitcow Racing, missing out on cost reasons at the beginning of the season. I mean, I understand.
Yeah, we got to sell some more Le Excellence, which is Brian's parfum brand. Really hoping that kicks off. But Jacob Padberg still sitting in P3, pretty comfy right now. Just did a 2-flat, not his best lap. Ali Raza making his rounds in that number 30. Another flying private.
And Siege with a really good point. I do need a T-Rex livery, and you need a racing driver livery. You need you on. Once we do that, you need to put you on a livery. Or both.
I do have me on a livery. I have my stupid face on an M2.
That doesn't surprise me.
So yeah, funny enough, I love dinosaurs. So I'm really surprised that I would do some dino liveries, maybe a Jurassic Park. Like the Jurassic Park car. That would be fun to do.
And would GT4s help with your GT3 driving? Yeah, any driving will help with any driving. You're just getting on the track and getting the laps out. That's the way to improve.
The most fun about the GT4 stuff, as we come to the last 2 minutes of quali here, but the best part about the GT4 stuff is just learning how to drive with other people. If you haven't ever raced in a league before, or just racing really, really close racing, because GT4 it's a lot tighter, and you get some really, really fun overtake opportunities and kind of teaching you how to pass and things like that. So I really, really liked racing in GT4.
Also just a little bit simpler driving. You're more reliant on just the raw mechanical grip of suspension rather than the weird, invisible magic mumbo jumbo that goes on with these GT3 cars, with air passing underneath the car and over the car in harmony. And
mumbo jumbo.
All that stuff's just over it. GT4 is, like I say, it's all raw horsepower and momentum.
Yeah, horsepower and momentum might be my new band name. But
it's a Christian rock band, actually, so it's already taken.
Is it really?
Yes, of course, duh.
But Eric Kerstetter, I was gunning for him in the podium. He's currently sitting P6. His fastest time was a 1:59.4 after about 4 laps. Drivers have about a minute left in this qualifying session for race 2, and no rain. We didn't see any rain.
Not yet. Still could be in the race.
I love how you're giving that chance of deniability, that suspense that it could be there.
Always got to have the out, though.
Yeah. Well, I said maybe. So, yeah. But great job there by Eric Kerstetter. Definitely blowing his previous quali time out of the water. And Matt Artem in the 414, big time Audi guy.
Holy smokes me!
Oh, Jacob Padberg.
Was that intentional? Hold on, I don't think that was.
Team's not going to be too terribly happy with that.
He was on a flyer. Coming into the spoon. Entry looks good onto the curbs. Oh, he just gave up.
Yeah, that was my best My best guess is that it is a little frustration. I know driving Spoon is probably the most frustrating turn on this track. The S's are pretty bad, but when you don't nail Spoon on a good lap, it just ruins the rest of the lap for you. And it is in the latter part, but it still it sucks. It sucks it out of you. So I can see why he was frustrated there.
Yeah, he also wasn't up on his time. So he must have just been like, all right, I guess I'm not gaining in the last few corners. Classic Jakob.
And the youngster sitting P3, so he can't really complain. Casey Schutte, his teammate in the 444. Aston Martin sitting at P13 as it stands right now. 2 minutes flat. And kudos to Casey Schutte, coming over a bout of COVID. So coming out of some sickness. And he just gets overtaken by Jackson coming across the line. And Casey Schutte setting a 159.9 in that 444 Aston. Just getting beat out by Jackson in the 36 Aston with a 59.8. So we have a lot more 59s this round than we did in the last one.
Yeah, we do.
13 59s. You guys are animals.
Wow, yeah. And Beachley, now that you guys mention it, whoever does redeem it first, we'll do something for. I don't know what we're going to do. It's not going to be anything like.
We honestly should 1v1 each other.
Well, look, we'll work out the details when we cross that bridge. But I do think that we can play that out for some pretty good content. I don't.
So yeah, drivers getting ready, lining up, getting fuel set, getting the crew ready to go. Of course, there's a mandatory pit. Excuse me, mandatory pit stop for these guys. I believe it is for fuel and tires. And Suzuka's a little rough on tires going through those S's, so maybe we'll see more early pits. What do you think, Mike?
I don't think so. Considering what we saw last strategy, the undercut worked really, really well for Landry, and I think we were. I just think early pit stops. Yes.
Yep, early pit stops.
I know what I'm talking about. Yes, I think we will see some earlier pit stops, but not till they hit a little bit of traffic, I would imagine. So it's all going to be about navigating if there is any traffic, which I was very shocked how early there was. But
yeah, it's just it shows a testament of how fast.
I do. Speaking of fast, we're about a minute 47 left. I got to get this grid rundown rolling.
I was gonna say I wasn't sure you were gonna do it.
Yeah,
so.
we kind of kept cutting each other off. It's all good.
You should just do it quick. Hampshire, Lamlin, Cadbury, Cursor, Landry, Gonzalez, Kostovich,
no, I got it.
You got it? All right. Minute 30.
Starting in pole position, Kyle Hampshire. Starting us out once again on pole position. Nate Lamlin this time starting in second position. Jakob Hadberg in third. Not quite. Actually, excuse me. Jakob started in pole last time. Kyle Hampshire took it from him at the beginning. Ed Kerstetter in fourth position. So Blue's choice up here in fourth. Number 28 car. Got the 711 of Marc-Antoine Landry. He's going to have a bit more work to do this race if he wants to get that race win. Gage Gonzalez in P6. Joseph Kostovich in P7. Kevin Blanchett lining up in P8, Eric Chen in P9, Brandon Meyer in P10, Ollie Raza bringing up that P11 position, Trevor Jackson in P12, Casey Schutte in P13, Jeremy Engelman in P14, Bruno Pio in P15, Christopher Tones bringing up that P16 slot, Eric Gossian working his way into the P17 position, Matt Arteem in P18, William Collin in P19, Rocky Rocco lining up in P20, Retro Coffin next to him in P21, TJ Washed in that P22 position, Andreas Mostachero, P23 for him, Ricardo Sapie in P24, Jason Provolone in P25, Dalton Oxbow in P26, Professor Chronotis bringing up that P27 slot, George Elmer in P28, Mike Burkov, P30, not the greatest qualifying for him, unfortunately. Now Schlieder as well, bringing up that P30 position, not quite where he would want to be, I'd imagine. Ross Phelan in P31, Bronson Turner in P32, Jose Guzman bringing up that P33 position, DeMarcus Rogers, P34, Jace Wright, P35, Amir Spool in P36, Gelson Cruz in P37, Daniel Versosa in P38, Aaron Kuhn in P39, Antonio Vieira in P40, Terry Agoras in P41, and bringing up that last position, 42, is going to be Carlos Guzman, the 139 Aston Martin.
Kudos to you, Mike. I would have just done that wicked quick. I would have just been Hampshire Lamlin bet. Just tried to see how fast I could get it done. But you're much more of a pro than
I got the music to keep me going too.
You'll have to send me that because I'm curious to what you listen to when you do that.
You can just listen to the stream.
It doesn't. I don't think it pops up. Does it?
What?
I don't think the music pops up on the stream.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, well. Sorry. Proved 100% proven me incorrect.
Yeah, CJ, the music does. Okay. You did make me second guess myself momentarily, but I was like 99.9% sure that it did. So.
I'm partially paid to make sure to gaslight Mike as much as possible during the stream.
Yeah, we got our intro music that I do at the start of the stream.
The intro?
Yeah, and then we got our grid rundown music. I got two different little banging tunes that I play.
Banging tunes. Banging tunes, mate. Banging tunes. Or as Corey Hampshire likes to say, he likes to say bruv a lot. B-R-U-V. Bruv.
Marcelo wants to see some Bruno Pio. Is it Pio?
Pio? The lone AMG on the grid, currently sitting in P15. Had a couple run-ins in race 1. So
he had a massive run-in with the barrier due to a assisted spin from behind, getting a little push. Ended up in the wall at Spoon, the turn that we're going to be coming up to momentarily. We'll see if Bruno can manage it this time around.
Yeah, and Nate Lamlin. Of course, we had Marc-Antoine Landry in 5th, Nate Lamlin in 2nd. We had Landry and Hampshire gunning each other down last race. I'm thinking that the battle between Hampshire and Lamlin might be a little bit more volatile. I think they're going to try to make things spicy for us early on. Lamlin likes to push, but he's smart enough to pick his battles. So
Bruno is one of my favorite movies, I'll have you know.
Bruno, the Sacha Baron Cohen film?
Yeah.
That's a good fact.
It's not actually, but oh, Bruno Pio's father, Ismail, is in chat here cheering for him, so that's really cool to see.
I'm pretty sure he was in the Discord chat too. He was in the driver's briefing, if I'm not mistaken. So, what's the line here, Mike?
We're getting there.
Oh man,
I like to do it. I like to do it closer to the start-finish line, so if anyone replays it, they hear it. It's the strats. It's the strats.
Yes.
I maybe think way too hard about this stuff sometimes, but hey.
Yeah, no, I think a little bit, but that's all right, buddy. You do you.
But yeah, lining up in pole position next to Nate Lamlin. In 2nd is Kyle Hampshire. 2x2 Noah's Ark formation as we are getting ready to go underway here at Suzuka. It's a beautiful day looking outside the window of the commentary boxes. The cars are rumbling by us. We can feel them in the booth. And we are green here racing here for the 2nd qualifying race. It's a great start this time for Kyle Hampshire, but he's under massive pressure from Nate Lamlin. Nate Lamlin with an absolute stinger of a start, but down the inside, Kyle Hampshire manages to hold it off. Ed Kerstetter is going to be sending it on the inside of Nate Lamlin. They make a little bit of contact, some bumping and banging throughout. Everyone, though, keeping it clean so far. Don't see any yellow flags. Bit of side-by-side action here. Joseph Kostovich.
Oh, no! Jeremy Engelman getting tangled up with, I believe that was Shooty in the mid-pack, causing some serious cluster. Oh, man. There is a bit of an issue through the S's here. Rocky Rocco, Matt Artem, Eric Gakassian slowing down, but not tangled up in it. Man, a little bit of a messy S section for this race, but still super tight.
Side-by-side action, Niall Schleter and Ricardo Sapien. See yellow flag from Aaron Chen that we're about to come up onto as they went wide at the second Degna. Looks like maybe made a bit of contact with the barrier, although their car looks fairly nice. Can't really tell from here.
But man, kudos to Ed Kerstetter jumping up into P2. Of course, he was my Blues Bold prediction, right? Getting into a podium spot. And look at that, sitting P2 and just elbows out against Nate Lamlin, who, like I said, can get aggressive, but knows when to pick his battle.
Yeah, and Bruno Pio here gaining 3 positions starting in P15, defending from the likes now of Jeremy Engelman in that 747 flying private car. Ross Phelan's back in the pits.
Yeah, as is Jelson Cruz. I think they got mixed up in some serious nastiness during that Sector 1, Lap 1 incident. So, yeah, just return to the pits, get your damage fixed, and then finish the race is my best guess there. So,
bit more spread out at the start here. I say that, and Jakob Padberg is having a look at Nate Lamlin into T1 through every which way, inside and out, doing what he can, trying not to fall victim to either the bumper of Nate Lamlin or the car behind in Landry.
Yeah, and Marc-Antoine Landry probably not super happy with where he qualified in race 2 here, as he was coming across the line winning in race 1. So he's got a little bit more work to do for himself here, and I'm watching on board with Jakob Padberg. We're going to make that mistake a lot.
It is.
The 888 Aston, and he is having to apply a lot of pressure, but also defend. So there's definitely some yin to the yang here as they go through the Dunlop hairpin. Oh no, he makes big contact.
Okay, let me select Jason Provolone. I can't collect the cheese man. What happened to Jason Provolone? He's all on his lonesome. What the heck? Nate Lamlin! What has happened to Nate Lamlin?
Yeah, Nate Lamlin and Patty the Batty. And Padberg.
Now I can't click on Nate Lamlin. Oh!
Yep. That is a rough go for the youngster. The youngster versus the veteran right there.
Oh, Nate Lamlin still spun around. Nate Lamlin down to P35. Jakob in P6 now. I think he lost out a couple positions from that contact. Now under threat from Kevin Blanchette and the O-Man Racing with TF Sport. So name rolls right off the tongue.
Yeah, like the Chip Ganassi Ford
that one,
QV Motorsport Ferrari that we had in the 2-hour series.
That one almost did roll off the tongue, though, which
almost.
Is kind of weird.
If you look at Gage Gonzalez and Marc-Antoine Landry, and Landry kind of sniffed out the move that Gonzalez was thinking about there going into T1, and Gonzalez just applying pressure. And not a good pressure, not like you're sitting at a massage table. This is like nasty pressure for Gage Gonzalez on Marc-Antoine Landry. Landry going from P6 to now P3 as Padberg fell down. Kind of flip-flop positions with Padberg, did Mark Landry. So Kostovich sitting in P5. Got to be pushing as well. 30 minutes is pretty much a cakewalk.
Whoa.
Oh, no.
Jose Guzman, Jace Wright, George Elmer getting tangled up. What the heck is going on, guys?
Take a look at that. It's that S section again. Just causing quite a bit of nastiness between these drivers.
Ooh,
oh, there it is.
24 car caught nowhere to go there as we saw the... Which car was that? The 29. It was a 3-digit car. I didn't see which number. Oh, the 129.
Was just a passenger there, which really kind of a stinker for him because he is doing pretty well, sitting in P26 as it stands right now. Not where he wants to be. He was top 20 in race 1, so at one point, I should say.
And Jason Provolone out of the pits. Eric Cossian out of the pits. Oh my, we got a subscription.
Let's go.
Ramon Marcelo, thank you very much for the Prime sub. Appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you guys so much and choosing to use your one Prime sub on us here at Tracklicious. I'm Mike Nause in the booth with my boy Blue. And we're watching some awesome racing here at Suzuka. Gage Gonzalez making gains on Mark Landry.
And this battle's been going on for now a lap and a half. Gonna be 2 laps. And not given anything to Gage. There's just no door open. Great defense by Marc-Antoine Landry, who knows how to rip around in that Audi.
And Marcelo, or is it Marcelo? Let me make sure I'm saying that right. I think it is. Yeah, Marcelo. You can join us on SimGrid. I'm not sure what your level of experience is in ACC, but we have various skill-leveled leagues where we have our pro league, where we see the top of the top driving around this track here at Suzuka currently, lapping at insane paces. We also have more human leagues, like the Rookie League, which is where Blue, he is a driver in the Rookie League. I'll be commentating that. It's on Mondays. You can find that at SimGrid. Right there, I just posted the link in chat. And yeah, I would recommend starting with the Rookie Series, get a feel for the drivers in the league. It's a ton of fun. We also offer other things like, you've like 4,000 hours? Well, okay, fair enough.
Hop on in. I don't think the Rookie League.
Maybe not the Rookie League.
I have 1,000 hours in the game, and I still participate in the Rookie League. Because it is GT4s and it is a lot of fun to kind of screw around with the GT4s, but yeah, hop on in and see if you can set some laps with these guys. Their race pace is like 1:58, so it's pretty quick. But yeah, come aboard. They do Tracklicious does a ton of stuff throughout the week, Mondays, Thursdays, Saturdays, Sundays. Lots of stuff.
Thank you, Marcelo. Much appreciated. Hope you enjoy the league if you do look into joining it.
I'm taking a look. There's quite a bit of battles on track, starkly different than our 12 hours of Bathurst, where we had quite a bit of gap between battles.
Like I said, I was commentating the 24 yesterday. It got to a point where the closest battle on track was 1 lap gap. So that's there was some lulls.
We've got Bruno Pio, 14 AMG, getting hunted down by Ali Raza. A couple Canadians going at it. Ali Raza and Andreas Mastachero. Duking it out now. Masachero's fallen back a little bit and is going to actually lose the position to Will Cologne, the 48 Aston, but great battles right now. Not as tight as race 1. I think guys are getting a little antsy in race 2. Made a little bit more mistakes in race 2.
Don't disappoint me.
Disappoint me.
Also, I just remembered the question that CJ asked earlier. Siege, I'm so sorry. I know you told me how to say it, and I've forgotten. It's the story of my life. But some good GT4 cars to start off driving. The AMG, McLaren
and AMG.
Yep. Aston Martin.
The Ginetta. Just kidding. Don't pick the Ginetta. Oh, big off by Mike Burkhoff in the Ferrari at 130R.
Oh, he's down in P40. Yeah, he's not having a good race at all.
Now, yeah, he lost about 7 positions with that big spin, and yeah, the Ferrari suspension catching up to him again.
Oh, and Bruno in the pits. I got the hiccups. Oh my goodness! Don't worry, Marcelo. I'm just saying it. I'm just giving you crap. Sage, that's right. It's Sage. The AMG is the one that I actually ended up settling on for the GT4s. I really enjoy. Oh, my big contact! What the heck?
Oh, no.
Was Ricardo Sapien coming out of the pits there? Niall Schlieder.
Oh, no. And then Mike Burkhoff sends it right off.
How did Mike Burkhoff do that? What? Okay.
T1.
No, I saw that, but how? I need to... like go back and see that as well. What the heck happened? Oh, and this wasn't even coming out of the pits. This was some side-by-side action. Now Schluter closing the gap. And where the heck is Mike Burkhoff?
Mike Burkhoff comes in.
He just loses it on his own.
Tokyo Drift style. Oh no, Mike, we hate to laugh, but that was kind of funny. Jeremy Engelman taking on Andreas Mastachero, making a move look easy into Degna 2. And now TJ Washed sniffing away at Andreas Mastachero in that 99. Great number, TJ. 99. Ferrari. It's a little three-way battle. Love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. TJ getting kind of held up in it. It's a safety inspected car by me, so I want to see this have some good results here. Come on, TJ.
And I'm loving that Kyle Hampshire has now caught up to lap traffic and is demanding this lead right now. There's a 3-second gap. It's kind of a no-doubter right now for Kyle Hampshire, racing with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder after race 1. Not quite. He held the lead for a while and lost it due to a bit of a pit stop blunder. So, of course, these guys do have to make one pit stop, and it's a fuel and tire change. So we'll see if that lead evaporates for Kyle, but right now he's looking pretty solid. Retro coffin going off right after 130R. That's rough for the Porsche.
And also Sage.
Yep.
I'm not even talking about Sage either. That's the worst part. I wanted to say Marcelo. Marcelo is so right. That was a total Senna Prost move in T1 there.
Senna Prost move. Yep. Love it.
Mike Burkhoff had a few too many before driving, and that explains the end result. Don't drink and drive, kids.
Yeah, definitely do not condone that. Even sim racing, you are a hazard. Hopefully you had a good time, Mike, but...
He was afraid of Raza? Yeah, I don't blame him. I would be too.
I'm looking at this this Meyer Blanchette battle in front of us. Yeah,
that's where I'm keeping an eye on as well. Really cool livery from Brandon Meyer.
Yeah, I was saying that last race. I love that. I love how he has the IMSA number there. It's a GTD Pro color card.
Oh.
Yeah, isn't that neat?
I didn't even notice that.
Yep. And then a standard livery for Kevin Blanchette. Love to see a Crazy Rabbits. I love those wilderness scenes that he puts on the cars for the Crazy Rabbits racing. So maybe we'll see that later on in the season. But
Mike, don't do that.
Brandon Meyer doing a pretty solid job scaring Kevin Blanchette here. Applying some pressure. Neither of them going in. Oh, there goes Brandon Meyer. Speak the devil. And
Kyle Hampshire in the pits, our leader. Marc-Antoine Landry, Jakob Padberg.
Oh, they followed each other. Follow the leader into the pits. And probably a smart move. Keep things nice and tight. It's going to keep things close between our top three.
Yeah, no rain. So
no rain. Like the Blind Melon song, no rain.
The pace we're seeing from the leaders, 159.0 is the fastest lap currently held by Kyle Hampshire. Last lap, he was lapping at a 159.3 before he came into the pits.
That's with race fuel, by the way.
Well, no, that was his stop, so he was probably...
Oh, yeah, that's true.
He was probably pretty low on fuel at that point. Dalton Oxborough with a drive-through penalty down in P25, unfortunately. That's going to hinder his result. Jason Provolone in P32, not the greatest for him either currently. He's battling along with Daniel Versosa and Eric Gakassian, though.
Lots of Tracklicious legends in there. Big shout out to Daniel Versosa out of Brazil. Made a really, really, really cool livery for an Aston Martin of mine, so shout out there.
Ooh, whoa, we got some... Is that an actual overtake there? Oh my!
No.
Jeez, what the sliding and happened there?
That's a bummer for Andreas Mastachero, as Eric Chen is just able to kind of get away with that. And And that was an aggressive move by Chen. Decent defense by Mastachera there.
Yeah, that wasn't on.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that they would straighten each other out. Didn't quite work that way.
The Bentley being a bulldozer, as it is.
I won't stand for this Bentley slander. No, it's a very, very accurate description. Gage Gonzalez turned around at the Dunlop hairpin. That's a bummer. He was sitting P6 earlier.
Gage Gonzalez, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, let's take a look, see what went wrong.
I didn't even hear you, I'm going to be honest. That's crazy.
Wow.
I don't know how I didn't hear you.
I'm right next to you. Oh, a little bit too early on the power. Nice avoidance there by the McLaren, the Aston, and the Mercedes.
Everyone.
Yeah, the entire field, actually, is just waving goodbye to Gage Gonzalez,
And,
who I talked up a lot early in the pre-race show, so I'm feeling a little like I jinxed him, maybe.
Ooh, Marc-Antoine Landry taking the gamer line through the chicane.
Yeah, the Williams Esports line right there.
And that's going to let Brandon Meyer have the inside line looking into T1, and he should get this overtake sold, I would imagine. See? Lick the stamp and send it, and he does manage to get the job done before the turn even happens.
And nice work there by Brandon, making sure that that move is his, and that there's no room for Antoine Landry to get by him. And this is becoming quite a little steamy battle between these two.
Yeah,
two guys that we didn't see fight in race one.
Good question from Sage in chat. Race fuel ain't it all race fuel? So what we mean by race fuel is the amount of fuel you take on board with you. For example, at the start of an hour-long race, you would take probably around, I don't know, 100 liters of fuel. I'm just rounding. Don't quote me on that. Every car is different. And so you versus like qualifying fuel where you would have 1 or 2 laps of fuel only. But anyways, we got some side-by-side action here between Mark Landry and Brandon Meyer. Landry's wanting that position back around the outside of the Dunlop hairpin.
Not a chance.
Ooh,
there it
yes,
goes.
There is a chance. Man's going to power through it.
Yeah, and that's the big advantage to the Audi there, getting into the technical side of things. The Audi is just great on the exit. It is so much acceleration power, and that's really where the Aston kind of drags, is that it doesn't have great acceleration coming out of the corner. It's just incredibly stable in the corner itself. So that's why, you know, it was a good battle going into that Dunlop hairpin.
Yeah, no worries, Sage. It's a good question, like I say.
Yeah. When I reference race fuel, it does mean that the car is obviously the more fuel that you have in the car, the heavier the car is going to be. It's not going to make a huge difference until you get down to the really lightweight stuff where you have like 1 liter in. But you can definitely feel a difference, and it does affect pace. And when every 10th counts, drop some weight. So
I know I've heard statistics like it, you know, every single lap you gain a couple thousandths, but like that's all assuming you can drive within thousandths of your previous time.
And so, Lord knows I cannot.
Yeah, so. It's maybe for better people that's a good way of looking at it, but for humans like us in the booth here, we kind of drive.
Yeah, where we have our feet on terra firma. We're not floating above anybody.
Yeah.
And we got a little teammate battle here. Aaron Kuhn, Bronson Turner, Stooch Racing in those sweet rainbow sherbet-colored McLarens. They're taking it to each other.
What position is that for?
P23, P22.
Okay.
And of course, previously those guys were in our 2-hour endurance series, which is coming back in a couple weeks, where we will start off with none other than Suzuka.
Yeah.
So tomorrow night we're also doing a little one-off race. It's a spec race, 2015 Nissan GTRs at Suzuka.
Yeah, it's a Suzuka special coming up.
Yeah,
here at
it is a fun track. So that'll be a lot of fun, especially in those very, very off meta cars. We'll see how much fun can be had there. Kevin Blanchett in the pits. Niall Schleter currently leading this race. Has not pit, however.
Oh, Nacho's going to be in the GTR race.
Let's go. It's going to be fun. I will be there as well.
And that's a good question, Sage. So another good question. You ask a lot of really good questions, actually. It depends. That's a setting that can be changed in the server. So
what's that?
How fast the fuel gets put in.
Oh yeah. You can have a designated like pit stop timer, but most of the time, if you do a fuel and tire swap, it is always set to 30 seconds, no matter how much fuel you put in. But if you just do fuel, you can set it to be like a 25-second stop. I know they do that in Low Fuel Motorsports series.
Ouch.
Oh.
DeMarcus. That hurt my
Rogers
throat.
off.
I needed...
Yeah, DeMarcus Rogers off at 130R. We talked about 130R in race 1, how it can make or break a race. And it is a deadly corner, so... And DeMarcus Rogers finding that out firsthand.
Porsche is just such an easy car to do that with, too. Easy to unsettle the rear end, and as soon as it goes, it's gone.
It's very fun. It's a very fun car until it's not. And I think avid Porsche driver Retro Coffin can abide by that.
He's a great Dale Senior livery. Make sure that's uploaded properly. I want to make sure I can see that tomorrow. I will be commentating it, so.
Oh, I've got Jace Wright trying to make a move on Eric the Bossman Gakassian. Let's see if the gamepad legend is able to get it done here. Not quite through the Dagnas as they go into the Dunlop hairpin. So a little bit of a bummer there. I thought we were going to see a nice little overtake.
Man, Ollie Raza here struggling to get by Bruno.
But not letting him not letting him forget that he's right there. One little mistake, and all of a sudden, Ollie Raza is gone. And there's another one of those flying private Aston Martins. They sold every grid spot, I think, to Jet Engelman. Oh, and here's a move from Jace Wright in our picture-to-picture. Not quite through the spoon. Dang. But look at Ollie Raza. You can barely see him behind that AMG.
Oh, and he wants that position like nothing else.
I think there was a little bit of contact there.
A little bit, maybe. Some rubbing his racing, but man, Ollie Raza getting impatient, you can see. He has the pace over Bruno, but it's one thing to catch, it's another thing to overtake. Suzuka,
and it does take,
not the trickiest
it takes two
track,
to tango,
though.
so.
They're not the trickiest track to overtake on Suzuka, so we'll see. Here we go, running a bit wide, but no, just you can't stick your nose in there. It's going to get taken off. But here we go. Wow, we're going to try to make a move around the outside. Coming up here into the Degnas. Off the track goes Ollie Raza. Going to have to yield that back.
A little bit of an Earnhardt Sr. move, passing the grass. And he's going to be on the inside of the Dunlop hairpin, which is a big advantage. And there he goes. He got it done. So I'm not sure if that pass was quite legal. He's still on the track, though, right? So,
no, I don't think he was.
You don't think he was?
I think he was
on the track
I
still?
definitely think he was completely on the grass when he made that overtake.
A full Dale Earnhardt, and very fitting he's in an all-black car. We can call him the Intimidator. How about that? He was intimidating Mike Burkhoff earlier, so nice job there by the Sith Lord Ollie Raza.
Yeah, he just wanted to get that position. He's very tired of getting stuck behind, clearly.
My way or the highway, said Mr. Raza.
Big gains here. Wow, what a wibbly-wobbly defense there from Kevin Blanchett.
But I love that camera angle where you can barely see the Audi behind the taller Aston Martin. This is going to really prove how good of a driver Kevin Blanchett is in that Aston Martin if he can hold off his countrymen.
Yeah, not too long to go. 4 and a bit minutes left to hold him off. Got a bit of work to do. Also has Kostovich just up the road from them. Nate Lamlin still yet to pit, currently in second position, along with Niall Schlieder leading the way. These two drivers will have to make their pit stop at some point here.
You got to think they're going for an overcut. They're going for the long haul, and we'll see if it as the line in dodgeball goes. It's a bold move, Cotton. See if it works for him.
Yeah, Nate Lamlin is 3 seconds ahead of Kerstetter. Kerstetter is out of the pits, and now Schlieder's about 12 seconds ahead of Nate Lamlin, so they will be put back down into probably around the P17 mark, maybe even further bit down.
Yeah, and that just proves how tight and how competitive these guys are, that when you pit, you're going to get knocked back down to, as you said, P15 to P20 potentially, so interesting strategy. I don't think that the overcut here works as well as the undercut, since it is so competitive.
In fact, he's going to drop down a lot further than I thought. I think he's going to be down in like P29. This is very close.
We'll see. We have seen our public school math education has failed us previously, so we'll see where that ends up. As Kostovich is now seeing that pressure from Kevin Blanchette and Marc-Antoine Landry. And in all honesty, if I'm Kostovich, I would be a little bit more scared of Marc-Antoine Landry, especially after what he pulled off in race 1. So
Landry, though, just hasn't shown that pace in this race. He's down 2 positions from where he started and struggling, it seems, to gain any ground on Kevin Blanchette, really.
Yeah, definitely a long-haul battle, and I don't think Marc-Antoine Landry understands there's only 2 minutes left in the race. Maybe he does, because he is pressuring coming out of the S's.
Oh, he knows exactly what he needs to do. He's just really struggling to do it.
And I think there's some damage on the front of that Audi as well. I'm seeing some bodywork issues coming off that 711.
Very little, if there is any.
Yeah, but aero is so important on that car.
I also think that that's the paint. I think I don't know. I feel like the livery isn't, but I don't know. It's really hard to tell. I'm gonna look. Oh, that's definite damage. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Whoops. Oh god. Whoops. Alright, there we go. Guys in the truck were messing with my settings there. That was annoying. I'm sitting on board of the bonnet of Kyle Hampshire, looking to catch up to Ed Kerstetter, and I'm really liking my pick for Kerstetter to make a podium, but Kyle Hampshire is not so sure about that right now, as Nate Lamlin and Niall Schlieder both in the pit lane. So I think Ed will keep his. Ed will, in fact, keep his podium spot, but there's the move. Going into T1, up into T2. No way! He straightens him out.
He didn't get hit, though, did he? Was there contact?
No, he
I don't
did.
think
Yeah,
there...
I'm fairly certain they made contact. Luckily, the position behind them is Ross Fallon and not 4 position. But, oh, yeah, there was contact there for sure.
Oh, yes, there was.
Yep. Yeah, and great save and a nice little bump right back. Straightens him out. Hard to be mad when the guy bumps you right back into the position that you're supposed to be in.
Ooh, and Jeremy Engelman with a return to pits.
Yeah, we can take a look and see what happened there.
Oh, found the barrier a couple times, it looks like, unfortunately. And Landry as well with a... Did I see a drive-through penalty from Landry?
It's got to be for track limits. We talked about it in qualifying before race 1. It is not hard to get some track limits here. Especially in the Degnas.
And Aaron Kuhn are now getting... Guys, it's the last lap. What's going on?
Pushing on the last lap. Ed Kerstetter still in control of P1. It's probably a little bit of a salty P1 as Kyle Hampshire's sitting in P2 after they made contact in T1. A little bit of a nightmare going through the S's there, and Nate Lamlin just having to play fire extinguisher and avoid all of that. Ed Kerstetter and Kyle Hampshire coming through the chicane on the last lap. And look at that. Blue's bold pick. Comes up big.
Yes, indeed. Kerstetter taking home the race win.
Yeah, there we go. On a podium at least.
And that was definitely a message from Kyle Hampshire.
I think that was a, hey, good job, but nasty move on me in the final lap there.
Jeez.
So Padberg probably not too terribly happy with the P5, especially since he pole sitter for race 1. So
Landry falling down the field ever further as the time goes on, and there it is, ends in 12th position, or with a 30-second penalty.
Yeah, rough go winning in race 1, and that just shows you the volatility of this track, and again, how competitive this series is. You win one race, you're P12 the next.
A little bit of side-by-side action into 130R there. DeMarcus Rogers forgetting that the left turn is, you got to turn left. Yeah.
And there's a lot of damage on that Porsche. I feel a little bad for Rogers there, getting taken over by the Brazilian of Versosa in that RCF GT3. Look at those two Adventure Time BMWs right behind him.
And we'll see what sort of interviews we can get here. Ed Kerstetter, Kyle, and Kostovich. Get some of them. Go ahead and pull your camera up, Blue.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Oh, geez. It's screwing up, though.
All good, all good.
There we go.
So great race, qualifying race, race 1 technically of the season. Oh, I didn't.
Yep, yeah, we had race 1, and then race 2 next week.
Green light. Go, go, go.
We are racing at, stand by, I'm getting some info from the guys in the truck. We will be racing at Spa-Francorchamps.
All right.
It is a double header again. It's a 30-minute and then a 45-minute mandatory pit stop there. And after that, Silverstone 90-minute enduro. Man, that'll be a blast as well.
Yeah, and here we go. I'm going to move Kerstetter. Hello, Kerstetter.
Yep.
Hello, hold on. Hello, Kostovich.
Yeah.
And who was the other one I needed to grab again?
Kyle Hamper Square. He is not in any of these channels.
Okay, well, we might get Kyle. We'll see. But yeah, Ed, great result. Blue was cheering for you.
Yeah, you were my Blues. What was it? Blues ballsy pick or something like that. But you did it, man. Nice little P1 for race 2. Not an insane race 1, however. You made up a bunch of positions, but probably not quite where you wanted to be, right?
Yeah, I had a drive-through at the end there, so I think I would have been 3rd, I think, and then mistakenly I just went into pit 2, so I lost even more positions. But yeah, race 2 was pretty good. I know, who was it? Nate? What's his name? Kyle.
Oh, Kyle Hampshire.
Hampshire. Well, he was super quick. Yeah, he was going to catch me, and a little more contact than I wanted there at the end. But he wasn't quite clear going into 1, and I had to back out because he kind of shut the door, and then I tried to take that back in turn 2, and he shut the door again. So figured went back and looked at. I don't like making contact with people, but I feel pretty good about that one though.
And I mean, you did straighten him out. Of course, we boxed Kyle in here. So you did on the second contact. We did find that a little funny. solid sportsmanship, but just giving him more damage, which probably didn't make things any better. And Kosti, our local VR guy, sitting in P3. How did the Ferrari going through Suzuka feel? Of course, coming off the Bathurst 12-hour, now up into this Pro Series.
The Ferrari feels fine here. It's pretty much if I don't have a good Sector 1, then I have every other car breathing down my neck going into the 130R. So it's pretty much just Degner 1 is our dice roll every lap. So, but yeah, this race I just got into a scuffle, and then there was I think Lamlin got spun early, and I got overtaken avoiding that by Gage. Gonzalez, and then he was fighting with Landry, so I just dove into the pits early for the undercut, and it worked out. So
yeah, so nice strategy there by the team, and the crew got it done for you, right? And moving into Kyle, of course, nicknamed Kyle Hollywood Squares. Solid race 1 for you, and then you move into race 2, and you had quite a lead. It's kind of a demanding performance. You didn't want to give up that P1. Just kind of walk us through the process of race 2.
It went wrong.
Well, I know you're
by mistake.
Oh, I know your race 1 wasn't great. Marc-Antoine Landry ended up kind of out strategizing you and taking the pit stop.
No, but both races I didn't line up the pit box right, so I lost about 1-2 seconds there in both races. So that was what lost me P1 in race 1, which it is what it is. I just need to practice the pit boxes more. And then race 2, I had tyres set on the pit strategy by mistake, and that's how that happened. I mean, we caught it in the end. I mean, I'm not going to go into details on the contact, but yeah, the pace was really good, and we caught it. So it is what it is. It's just a mistake.
You shut down my next question. I was gonna say, are we gonna see a little bit of more rivalry, a little bit more elbows out coming into Spa? And anyone can answer that question, but I think this is pretty competitive. What do you guys think? Take your time, gentlemen. No one speak up at once.
I didn't know you were talking to me.
any one of you can answer that question.
I think it's going to be interesting, simply because coming from the 949 leagues, typically the qualifying race, everyone's their tip-top shape because they've had like a month to practice the race. And then as the season progresses, less and less practice time gets thrown in, so the races get more chaotic.
Well, we're headed off to Belgium next week for another doubleheader, and we'll see you guys there.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining. Congratulations on your guys' podium and win. And you guys are free to go. We'll take the chat.
Free to move above the Discord.
And yeah, massive thanks to everyone in chat for being here today. Big thanks to Blue for being here with me. Am I looking the right way? I think, yeah, I am looking the right way.
I think you are, yep, yeah.
And here in the wonderful town of Suzuka.
I don't think it is. I don't think it's called Suzuka Town. No.
Anyways, we're here in Suzuka next to each other very clearly. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the racing. We'll be here next week at Spa. Be flying out there probably on Saturday. So if anyone's in Spa and wants to, we want to actually be there. But anyways,
I'm super stoked to be in the middle of the Ardennes. Definitely a bucket list track for me, one of my personal favorites. So I'm excited that it's race 2. Let's get it going.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're gonna raid Mr. Blackout 81. He's driving around currently on what looks to be. I am bad at recognizing track. He's driving around doing Barcelona. There we go. That's the track I can recognize. All right. So go check him out, guys. Thank you guys for joining. Massive thanks to Blue for being here. And I'm Mike Nause. And hope you guys have a great night.
Peace.